welcome to this playthrough of Journey. And this will actually be my second journey through this land, but I'm going to do it this time on video, since last time I had just a ton of technical difficulties. But anyway, let us begin our new journey, I am sure. And here we are. So this actually has some camera controls you can do with your controller, just turning it back and forth. Aha! I personally prefer to just use my thumbstick from, playing other games such as Dark Souls. The camera is very similar. But I want you to really notice this imagery here of the star. If you will, the star. I'm not sure what else to call it. Coming down, and you popping up in the desert like this with those two little towers there. Because this will come back into play later on. This game, like Dark Souls, is very cyclical, and things kind of begin again. But anyway, welcome to Journey. So as you can tell, this game this game has no dialogue, and honestly, it doesn't need any. I almost debated not even putting in commentary for this, but I figured maybe a soft commentary would be acceptable. It's I wouldn't even call it a game. It's an experience. You just really get a feel for the game, and you just enjoy it. It's not like there's any real... It doesn't have what you would think of a normal game. I guess it's just an experience just to play it. Just to be a part of this, So I want to show you here one of the first mechanics of the game that you really get a feel for. So you get this beautiful little scarf, if you will. And so this scarf actually allows you the ability, whenever it's charged, to be able to, I don't know if I would say fly, but certainly glide. I mean, you kind of flop up in the air and then you can glide down and see it recharges. So one of the underlying kind of, I guess you'd say, goals in this game, really needed to progress, is just to lengthen your scarf so that way you can progress to new areas. And some might say that this game is a little bit confusing even, because there is no dialogue, there's no real, there's not nearly as much direction as some games. And that is true, but as long as you follow... let me just show you. The journey ends at the mountain. You want to go to the mountain. So as long as you head in that direction and whichever way you can, you're on the right path. Let us continue now, and I want to show you something else with this mechanic. So see that little glowing ball down there? I believe there's two of them you can see from here. Those little glowing balls there are actually, so certain places in the game just as a mechanic, lengthen your scarf because of the things you find. But these little blocks, whatever you find, are other ways to lengthen them. So it's good to keep an eye out for those during this game because they can ultimately help you to progress. And I think the other one is right here. I don't have any charge, so I may have to grab some charge. I'm not sure if I can get it from the other side. I'll have to see. I think instead of going up, I can just circle around here. Yes, okay. Alright, so there we go. Lengthening my scarf a little bit. Usually when it lengthens, you also recharge, so that way you can get a little bit of fly time from there. Now I believe also my coat or whatever it is that I'm wearing. Okay, so notice I'm putting these little pulses, and you can charge them up, so that way they are fairly large. And that is your interact mechanic, I guess, with this game. So you can see I have all these little things here. If I go ahead and interact like this, they give me a boost. Alright. So these points throughout the game are your kind of points of progression. You step into the light, and this is your storyline, since there's no dialogue. Now I have noticed that in this little area there are other places that you can get to, and I'm not really sure if they're also gateways or what exactly they are. But for this playthrough anyway, I'm just going to progress through and get through the game to show it to you. And I see at the end of the hallway there's a friend. A lot of this game is actually two-player. And so hopefully we'll meet our little friend here in this new area. Alright, so let's see. Do we have a friend here? I don't know if we have one yet or not. So I wouldn't exactly call this a puzzle game by any means, because the tasks in front of you aren't all that... it's not like it's a riddle or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. Just using your interact mechanic to be able to progress through the world and change it and shape it, you know? So here, by interacting with this, we're going to create a bridge, actually, to get across this desert area. So it's, like I said, it's not what I would call a normal game at all. It's really just the experience of playing this. It's just really unique and interesting, really. I believe this was originally a PS3 game, I suppose. I'm very glad they brought it back for the PS4 because it's really beautiful, and the graphics, especially on PS4, are just phenomenal. So I guess, you could kind of say this is like a journey to enlightenment because you're always in seek of these lights, like the one at the top of the mountain or the one to progress to the next area or just whatever you want to call it. And it's just the game is its name. It's a journey. Now you see over here, I actually see one of those little spots that lets you to make your cape scarf thing longer. So I'm going to grab that real quick before I proceed because that's always a good thing to grab. These shifting sands over here. Alright. The environment to this game is just really phenomenal, The way that you make a path with the sand, and just the sounds. I really enjoy how this game is so musical. Like I said, I almost didn't even really want to put a commentary to this like I did for my Limbo playthrough, because the game is just beautiful by itself. It doesn't need any stupid jokes or puns to make it a good playthrough. It's just beautiful, But I figured that maybe if I was soft about it, it would just serve to enhance rather than to take away. Alright, so let's see, we'll grab this one and this one and complete some more of the bridge. Is complete. Before we progress, I think there's 2 more spots where I can lengthen my scarf. So I'm going to do that real quick before we run off to the next area. You see you've got one over here hiding behind some sand. Don't they know they can't hide from me? Yes. All right. Now, as I mentioned, much of this game is 2-player, though I haven't seen any other players yet, so I don't know if I'm just didn't connect with anyone, or since this is a second playthrough, if it changes anything, or I really don't know, to be honest with you. I played this once before because a friend wanted to show this game to me because it really is a beautiful game. Again, I don't even feel right calling it a game. It is its name. It's a journey. And I know that sounds cliche as but it really is unique. Spot here to lengthen my scarf. And with that, we've finished this area. So we'll head back to the beginning of our bridge over here and we'll continue from there. The flight mechanic really is, it's graceful, you know? It feels right. Alright, up the bridge we go. This is pretty neat as well. Some of these things, just by rubbing against them, you can actually charge your power. That becomes critical later on in the game. You notice we're basically floating across these, we're not really walking on them. These little cutscenes are the only real story you get from the game, and I don't know nearly enough to try to explain them or anything else, but I'll leave that up to you. See, with two people here, you would activate them both simultaneously and go from there, but this works as well by myself. And let's go.